Hey guys, wanted to review a trade I had today in the SPY. This was about a 30-second trade and it was about a 10% return. So I just wanted to review how it got set up. So this is another setup I use to day trade. Uh, this is the slow stochastic setup, and I use the 9 and 21 EMA. So the green line is the 21, and the 9 is, or in the orange line is the 9 EMA. So essentially, when the orange line crosses the green line going up or down, along with the stow crossing it, that's kind of my setup. So essentially, it's kind of a three-part trade. First part, I'm looking for the stow to cross uh, that purple line, either going up or down. So that's step one. Step two is then I'm looking for a cross between the 9 and the 21, either up or down. And then step three is I'm looking for divergence in the TTM squeeze. So if all those are aligned, then I'll end up taking a trade. So essentially, you can see here around 12:15, we started to have a cross here. So you can see we already crossed down. So that's on the stow. So that's saying that momentum shifting down. Um, Now, as I was trading this, so this looks a little bit different now since the charts are, since the whole trade kind of took off and the charts are done. But as I was trading this orange line was actually crossing over the green right here. So I had an early entry on this trade. Um, so you essentially want to wait for a complete cross here. But you can see Stowe crossed. So then I started looking, right, and on the cues it was already beneath. But you can see for the VIX um, had been crossed. It had crossed up along that same time, and then we had buying pressure here within the squeeze. So as I was trading this, I was trading this on this candle as we were crossing up. So we were crossing up on the VIX, and then we were crossing down on the SPY, and we were crossing down on the Q, because you can see we had bearish divergence here, and bullish divergence on the VIX, right? So I ended up entering right here, and this is where this orange was crossing in the green, and I literally got out of the trade as we made that drop. So that was essentially a 10% return in about 30 seconds for this trade. But one thing to keep in mind is definitely got to keep your eye on the market. This is definitely lessons learned for me. I mean, even though I was green on the day, um, I still could have caught a lot larger move. One FOMC minutes were today, and we were squeezing. So you can see if we move forward, see we stayed in that squeeze and we essentially never crossed. That's why there's a risk of entering quickly or entering soon on this chart, right? Trying to get in a little bit sooner, which I did, but I would luckily had got out because I seen once we came down um, that we weren't essentially going to cross. So then I just got out of the trade, and I had hit a 10% return, which I like hitting on my smaller account. That's why I exited. But you can see we kind of bopped back and forth, came all the way down to 414 here. So it was a nice downward move down to 414. But then the thing is we were still squeezing, and we were squeezing so you could see selling pressure was coming in, but we came down to that 413 level and based right here. So that's kind of a signal. If you've got extra selling pressure coming in and you're basing at a level that you're probably going to bounce. So now what happened is we came down, um, faked out a whole bunch of people right here because that selling pressure was coming in, based, and then reversed. So you can see this ended up being a perfect setup because the VIX cross. So we had a cross on the VIX and it was breaking out. And then we started getting buying pressure while we were in the squeeze, right? So right here, that buying pressure came in and then we started to break out for the SPY and the Q. So essentially it was um, you had a 18, just in one candle, you went from 419 up to 422 in one candle. So I mean, you would have had 200% return on this trade back up. So I was actually doing trade reviews as this move was happening. Then when I looked back at the chart and seen the setup, I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But definitely could have been a monster trade there. So, anyways, that's all I got for tonight. Hopefully, you guys did trade well, and you ended up taking A plus setups and you grew your account. And good luck. Good luck the rest of the week. With that being said, I'll talk with you guys later.